then we're thinking we about to make a hit.
Calling all kings to the flow. I'm about my business, you know. Keep it 100. It's my faith in God that keeps me on the go. About my money, my love. What it needs to grow. I'm calling all kings to the flow. Calling all kings to the flow. Calling all kings to the flow. I'm about my business, you know. Keep it 100. It's my faith in God that keeps me on the go. About my money, my love. What it needs to grow. I'm calling all kings to the flow. Calling all kings to the flow.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We want to welcome y'all to the Crown Kings podcast.
Yes, sir.
Where we hold ourselves to a standard of mendome. And we want to welcome y'all today to a special episode. Volume number 1, episode number 1, 2025, season 2. It's your boy, Trail.
I go by that boy, Doty.
Y'all know who it is, Taylor Made.
Taylor Made. We're gonna try to figure out if he got a new name this season. You know what I'm saying? That boy don't know whether he want to be a rapper or a fisherman or what.
We're gonna put that on the grave though. Taylor Made is here.
Yeah. But look here, y'all. This is an exciting episode. I'm glad to be in the number one more time. We got some special guests along with us. Last episode, when we ended season 1, we talked about black love. So a lot of people were talking about they couldn't find love, how hard it was to find a good man, a good woman, or whatnot. So, as the Crown Kings, we want to let y'all know that we have been blessed to have found our good thing.
Lord have mercy. Jesus.
So, we want to take a time out to, this boy here, to introduce the queens. Behind every good king, there is a queen, or beside. You know what? Let's introduce the queens, all right? All right? Let's start from this way, left to the right. Would you please introduce yourself, beautiful, and let them know. Hey, ma'am, this is our show. This is our show.
You introduce.
All right. So, that's fine. Special episode. I got you. She come on here thinking she's finna run something, but may the Lord watch between me and Dee while we out sitting here one for another. This is my beautiful wife of many years. Now, coming up on number 18 to be exact, in a couple of days. Y'all give us a round of applause. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes. Her name is Jasmine Warfield. She hails from the woods of Hollandale, Mississippi, all the way through Pflugerville. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 8 hours down the road in the sticks. But may God bless you for being here. Thank you for being here, honey. This is my baby. This is my reason for smiling, for living, and for giving. All right? Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's go. All right. Who we got next? Who we got next?
Come in here.
Tell them, Clint.
This is my wife, Nakeebra Dale.
Yeah. How long y'all been together? Tell these
Together,
folks.
how many years, Nakeebra?
Wait a minute.
Boy, start the episode on wrong.
We've been together since 2018.
That part.
We've been married since 2018.
Okay. There you go.
They want the whole resume.
Yeah.
Lay it down.
I don't know how long. You gotta think how long we dated plus married. We've been together long.
Well, we've been together since 2012, but we've been married since 2018.
There you go.
This is my lovely, beautiful wife, Nakeebra Dale.
Yes. Yes.
Hallelujah.
That's it. Yeah, he got it.
Taylor Made.
Gentlemen across the world. Man, whatever. This is my lovely wife, Justine Taylor.
Yeah.
What we've been together, let's see, it was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm trying to remember. Like,
4, 5,
I know we
6,
dated
7,
5 years before we were married. I'm trying to put it together now. What has it been?
16.
It's 16 years now. So
See how
we've
she
been
just came
together
off the
16
tongue
years.
with 16 years.
Well, because you know one of our nephews was born right before our wedding, so have
So
our
that's you
kids.
cheating.
Hey, whatever you gotta do.
That's
You
right.
got it.
That's how she cheats.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Justine Taylor.
Hey.
All right now, here it is.
Yeah.
All the way
Oh.
from Dawson, Georgia. She was born in Dawson, Georgia.
Born in Dawson.
Ma'am, this is my introduction to you. Don't put a hole in the sail. All right. By way of Pflugerville. My wife. Met at the, we kind of got there at the Pizza Hut, and we've been rolling and rocking ever since then. My wife.
Pizza Hut. My bad.
My
My bad. Go ahead and finish.
My wife, my real, Nikita Pierce.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, how long have y'all been together?
We've been together forever. That's what
Ever.
Okay, well, let's see. If we got together in 1999.
Correct.
She was kind of running from it, but I found her. And then,
But I found it.
1999. Okay, so then, we kind of courted, dated till 2001. Where I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to do this court no more. I'm gonna make you mine. Girl, let's go and get married.
I had to agree, but yes.
Yeah, I mean that's why we're here, because you agreed.
How many years have we been married?
We've been married to be 24 years. I got my numbers.
Okay.
I'm a numbers guy. Okay, 24 years as of July
All right.
of 2025.
Correct.
Okay.
There you go.
On my mama, I got my numbers. Okay.
There you go.
I know my numbers. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Boy, y'all gonna
Saying, man.
hey, copyright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Dare shoot.
Yeah, man.
Got to be more careful.
My wife, man.
Well, look here, y'all. Y'all know how we do it. If you're on right now, we need for you to go up on your screen, like, share, subscribe,
Please.
Tell somebody.
That's all
to
you
tell
gotta do.
somebody.
Yeah.
To tell somebody. All right. This new season is gonna be fire. We want to start it off with the queens because there were a lot of questions that were brought up about what it means to be in a successful relationships. Some other things that came up was questions about how problems that couples face and how they overcome some of those things.
Yeah.
So we want to open the table up today. I know a lot of people, the table. But we want to open the table up today. We got several microphones, thanks to that boy Sam here. And everybody gonna get an opportunity. That's that good coffee, boy. An opportunity.
There it is.
Huh?
Always
I'm gonna always be the same. Opportunity to speak on that topic. So let's start there. Number one, first question that we want to tackle on today. What are some of the biggest obstacles that couples face in this time period, in this season, moving into the new year? What are some of the biggest obstacles they face? And I say that because there are a lot of people who are entering into marriage. There are a lot of people who are in some tough seasons in their marriage, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate through these things. Yeah. And so, as I've heard, many years of experience here from a variation of places. So, if you don't mind, let's go.
Yeah.
It don't matter who start. Let's get it.
Somebody get into it.
Somebody. Which one?
We waiting on you.
Come on.
What was the question?
Some of the biggest obstacles that couples face. We didn't rehearse, as y'all can see. This is
I
live.
want to ask one thing. Your phone just went
That was
off.
the alarm.
Can you turn it off?
Yeah, turn it. See, that's one of the obstacles right there.
I
Okay.
would say healthy communication.
Okay. That's one of the biggest things that always come up is
Yeah.
communication.
We talk a lot about communication, actually. But if you say that, healthy communication, what are some things, why is communication, to you, one of the biggest issues? Two, what are some things that over the time that we've been together, or even things that you've noticed from other couples, what are some of the ways to navigate through communication? And again, why is it so hard, you feel like, for people to communicate?
Because everybody have their own different way or style of communicating, so you have to know each other and learn how to come to some type of agreement or resolution to where this will work for us. Communicating this way will work for us, whether it's writing it down or repeating back what you said. I heard what you said, and this is how I will respond to this type of thing. I hear you, but also can you hear my point of view without escalating it or shutting off that way.
Well, yeah, I think that's one portion of the communication, but I also think timing.
Yeah.
Because, like with us, if we have a disagreement about something, I want to talk about it now, but he doesn't want to always talk about it.
Let me think about
Yeah,
it.
let me breathe.
I told y'all about this. I'm not the type of person that's just I need some time.
Yeah,
need
so
some
I think
time to think about it.
the form of communication and also the timing of communication, because I definitely do want to, because I'm like, let's resolve it now, get past it and move on. But he may need some time to think about, because I mean, there are people like that where it's like, I don't want to say the wrong thing, so let me take some time and process what's going on, then we can communicate about it. So I think timing and the way you communicate too.
Yeah, I agree. I think communication in different forms. I remember at a point, and the older I get, I feel like the more that I'm starting to not believe in this comment that we used to use a lot, but it aligns with communication too. But a lot of people feel like I am who I am, like I came into this as this same person.
I knew what you was getting into.
And I used to kind of share that sentiment at the beginning, maybe even for a decade possibly of my marriage, maybe even a little longer. Like, this is who I am. You accepted me. You wanted me as that person, and this is what you have, and so you kind of have to adapt to me. But understanding that a marriage or relationship, even if it's a friendship, is not necessarily telling someone to accept you flaws and all. And understanding that my part of being in a relationship with you in communication is to make you better and you to make me better.
Right.
And making me better and making you better doesn't mean we stay the same. And so being the same doesn't mean the same to me anymore.
Right.
Like, I can't be the same person I was 10 years, 20 years ago. And if I am, then I'm not doing something right, and neither are you. And
Right.
so really kind of, I think that's been a cross for many relationships, is a lot of people want to maintain that independence, which I understand, in the autonomy of who you are, but understanding that some parts of who you are is who you are without a person, without a relationship. And you can't be that person. You have to adapt, yes, and there are parts of who you are that just are like, my skin is this, or this might be how I like to wake up, or this might be how I prefer to communicate. Give me time to process, or she may need it, like me, a little more quickly, so let's find a resolve. But some other things about, well, that's just who I am. I pop off at the mouth real quick, or, like, no,
Right.
those things are not okay.
Yeah.
And I
Take
think
words back.
those are breaking a lot of relationships, is because people are trying to maintain things that aren't beneficial to you as an individual or the relationship in totality. So.
To that point, what you just said has sparked something, because so as you're growing, right, and you're saying that over time you made some adjustments,
Yeah.
but due to so when if there was a certain point in your marriage, because y'all been married a long time, but if there was a point, when did you acknowledge, okay, my communication methods need to change, or the way I reciprocate even in that department? When did you find that?
What's good, everybody? This your boy Doty, man, and I'm 1/3 of the Crown Kings and the Crown Kings podcast, and we're asking for your help. Who should we bring on? What additional topics should we talk about? So we need you guys to reach out to us. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Be sure to follow the team and let us know who we need to bring on, or what topics we need to talk about or bring up in the new season. And we'll see y'all out there. Crown Kings!
And was that something that somebody shared with you, or was that something that you feel like you decided as an individual that you needed to overcome?
I think a combination of things. I think I like to read, and I think I got away from reading for a long time. I'm a learner. Like, I like to learn. Like, I'm not a person that ever feels like I'll know it all, but I like to learn.
Right.
And so when I'm listening to other people, or even processing something that's happened for myself, or like hearing, like rehearsing what he and I may have gone through, you get tired of hitting the same wall a few times. And part of my trade, even occupationally, is helping define insanity. You know what I mean? And so hitting the same wall, the same times over and over again, I'm insane. Like, if we keep running into the same exact issue all the time, it comes a time where you have to question, okay, what is it about this? Is it me? Is it him? Is it us?
Right.
And if when you really look at it and you process it, we are doing the exact same things, and we're wanting to change, but nothing's changing.
Right.
We're insane.
Yeah.
And so that insanity will run you crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and
it
then
ran me crazy a little
yeah, because I thought the same thing. And also, it's like at some point, if you love this person, you're gonna want to figure out, okay,
Right.
how can we make this work?
Right.
Because who wants to keep arguing all the time? You know,
about the same
like, no,
thing
right,
over again.
right.
They used to sing that song, break up to make it. That's all. Y'all didn't want to do that. Y'all didn't want to do that.
Like running into that wall over and over again, your head start hurting. That's a concussion. Now, like, this makes you dizzy. No, that's...
I feel you. Miss Dale, what you got? Tell us something. What's some things when you talk about communication, healthy communication, or just some learned behaviors that you had over time? From the time, I don't even, maybe so, from the time you were dating and y'all were getting to know each other up until now. Y'all been married for some time now.
We still getting to know each other.
I mean, that's cool too. I think that's a good point. That's a good point. I like that.
It's just for everything. They always say that, every decade you change. So you're always going to get an opportunity to learn a new person. So it's a never-ending thing.
Yeah.
I like that. You still learning. That's something we don't want to leave out. Just because you've been together 20 years, 30 years, 30 days, you have to consistently be learning your partner.
Yeah.
Write that down. Take a picture. Like, share, subscribe.
He ain't lying.
Okay?
He ain't lying.
Y'all understand? And follow forever. Don't stop. Get it. Whether you're riding in your car, whether you at your job, I know you're supposed to be working. Put your Bluetooth on. If you're at home in your living room, turn it up. Clint, what you got? Mr. Dale.
Yeah. Well, for me, is you gotta kind of like when you require this person to do something for you or what you think they should be doing, you kind of have to put yourself saying like, how would I feel? If I'm asking this person of this, I got to see to myself, how would it make me feel? How would I feel? So I'm learning to, not require so much and understand that this person has a life and they have their own feelings and their likes. So I have to take that in consideration. So, because you don't want to take nothing from them. This is who they are. But still, you got to, think, it got to be a happy medium, but you got to work towards their feelings and who they are.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm learning to do.
Agreed.
And, and just, think about how I would feel. Yeah. That's what I'm learning. So,
Mr. Dale giving y'all that wisdom.
Yeah, and that actually made me think of another thing in a relationship: compromise. Like, I know that's a scary word.
Hey, are they talking?
That's a scary word. Compromise, but compromise to an extent, because sometimes people compromise too much.
You lose track of yourself.
That because you should never have to compromise fully who you are.
Right.
Like, compromise to get to a resolution, but I wouldn't necessarily compromise to only satisfy this person.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is a relationship, not a one-sided thing.
Right.
So I think that does definitely come up into compromising with your partner.
Speaking of that, I feel like check-ins.
Ooh, that's good.
Because people change. Whether it's monthly,
Boy, they getting in there.
quarterly, yearly. People change, people evolve individually and collectively. So I feel like check-ins are good to see where you're at. Well, how are you feeling now? Like, where is your head at now these days?
Yeah.
That's all.
To that point of check-ins, not forgetting to date one another.
That part.
Because I think we get so accustomed to the routine of being together. Like, you get your routines down. And they're needed. Like, that helps you get day to day, and it helps you work through life, right? And so you wake up, and you fix breakfast, or you make the coffee, and then you and you go, and then you go to work, and then you come back, and then you go to sleep, and then you go to work, and you come, and then if you have kids, it's the routines with them, and then you get stuck in this cycle, and then you lose the us.
Yeah.
And then when you lose the us, a lot of what I notice, not even it's like we have manuals. People say it doesn't come with a manual. No, not directly, but you can look at previous experiences of parents or grandparents or just the world at large, and there really are manuals.
Right.
But what you see happen many times is once the kids are raised or once a couple of decades have gone by, people end up divorcing.
Yeah.
And it's because
They don't know each other.
they don't know each other outside of the
Wow.
routine. And so now the routine is gone, the kids are away,
Wow.
and what you're left with is,
Me and you again.
Who are you?
who the freak are we?
It turned
And
into
now
COVID,
we don't
huh?
have anybody to buy school
Right.
clothes for, go school shopping
Hey.
for. We can't fuss about who was supposed to pick up who, like
Yeah.
now. And so then you've lost that. And really there is a part of a responsibility on the couple to not let it get to that place.
Right.
Like it's remembering with those check-ins that check-ins don't have to be a phone call or a chat. Take each other out. Like get away from everything. And it's also an amazing lesson for the kids to see.
You heard that?
As much as
Take me out.
I suffer,
You heard that, Clint?
I suffer
Take me out.
from.
Trey,
I
you
do.
heard that?
I suffer. I suffer from chronic guilt of having a life, meaning I'm busy. You're going to agree to it because you say it all the time. I'm guilty of, I have a lot going on. And everything that I have going on is something I've chosen. And I make sure to include my family, specifically my immediate family as much as possible. But there are times where I'm like, gosh, I got to make sure this is about the kids. Like, because I've done this and I've done that and I've done this. And then I feel a guilt of like not doing certain things. And so I make this cohesive, like we all have to blah, blah, blah. And then I've been now guilted I've done a lot of that. And I haven't done enough of, but the kids need to see that some things aren't for you. Some things are for mom and dad. And it's okay because I want them when they're in their marriages to be able to make sure they decipher
Setting
the
the
two.
example.
And they need to know the happy middle ground, you know? And so anyway, it's something I'm working through.
It's always a process. I think with anything, that's a part of growth too, though. You know what I mean? Just things you learn over the years.
Yeah.
Just like you said, when you know, not say getting to know, but learning the new person after a decade, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's all a process. I feel like that's all. I mean, period. Just not even just marriage, but just a part of relationship.
Right.
Period with another person. You know what I mean? So just being at least halfway in tune with that, I think helps a lot.
Right.
You know. So
That's so crazy. We talked about this before. We've had an episode where we talked about how we get our oil changed, we go get our hair done, we get our y'all get y'all nails done,
It's been a minute.
or the toenails maybe. You know what I'm saying? And we make sure, you know, every 3,000 miles,
That's right.
you know, every 5,000 miles, whatever, we do that check. But is it when we checking in with our spouse? Is it that we take this for granted, or is it really that we are too busy with life, or is it that when you're neglecting that part of the relationship, is it just that because you're so busy that it's unseen, and then when the guilt come in, or somebody say something, or you see their body language, then you make that change. So with that being said, how is it? Because we really, it was important for me. Because I hate to tell y'all to do something that I would do. So it was really important for me for us to have check-ins. And I will tell y'all that it helps. Now, sometimes you gotta brace yourself, fellas, because sometimes the response ain't always going to be what you feel like it should be.
You thought you was, hey,
You know what I'm saying? And so you got to put your big boy pants on and say, okay, cool. I asked this question. This is the response.
yeah.
And then women too. How could I?
Just
Be sure.
say
That's it. Say it. If there's something that's bothering you, and there's something that is underlined, because you would rather tell. You should be able to trust your spouse enough. You would rather tell them. And as a man, I can't speak for all men, but for me, I would rather you tell me than to have it festering, and then all of a sudden, you know, that boiling pot, when that hot water come out the pot, now it's fire, when we could have, you know, fixed it. When it was warm water, we could have fixed it. now it's hot and I'm getting scolded, and shoot, I want to scold you back. So it's it's kind of crazy. So I guess that's part of the growth too. What you got? I saw your hand go up. Come on.
I think we all kind of go through that, and and we learn from that because I'm guilty of it, and she may have, but I'm probably more guilty of it.
I don't let stuff fester.
That's where I'm at from.
He does that. I'm like, I'm gonna take care of the problem while it's there. I'm not gonna let it build up and all of a sudden one little thing makes everything come up. You talking about something 3 months ago when you should have already addressed it then and there. I'm like, what are you talking about?
But everybody's different, and then you have to learn, because when you do it and then you start thinking about it, okay, I shouldn't have let it get to that point. So I got to work on me to make sure that I can, not let it get that far and discuss it. Because once you discuss it and get it off your chest, you feel a lot better. And I think it's a lot better for a relationship. So, but we all have to learn because we all are different. And that's why I say, everybody's different. We all got our mistakes. So that's one of my bad downfall is letting something fester because you hope that they'll get the message.
That's real.
And then, but you can't always hope that. So you gotta put it out there.
Read your mind.
Okay,
Right.
so
Exactly.
this is one of my flaws.
Assumptions, right? I got you. Go ahead.
My thing is, if we talked about it over and over again, and I said, hey, like for instance, date me. Like I want to go on dates. Like date me so we can get that connection again. And then we do it for maybe like a month, and then it falls off. And then it's like every year I'm still saying the same thing, date me. After a while, I'm going to stop saying it. How do we deal with that? Because it's like chaos. It's chaos at this point because I'm repeating myself.
I mean, you also have to date that person back too.
Exactly.
So it shouldn't just be one-sided. If you saying it and if, let's say Trev forgets 3 months down the line, it shouldn't just be on him to date. It should be on you too.
It's on both of us.
Yeah, it's on both. That's what I'm saying. Like you shouldn't think about it as one-sided. I should say. It should be like that's why I just said, Justine, date me.
I hear that.
You plan to date.
But can I play devil's advocate a little bit? I don't know, and I'm not gonna step on their side, but I can talk he and I. If we're doing a check-in, and I've said that one of my love languages is time, right? Quality time. Part of what quality time is for me is away from things, away from the monotony of what the world brings us, date night. And you've asked me what it is that I need. That's me communicating to you what I need. So to say back to me that I need to do for you what I need doesn't make that much sense. Because you didn't tell me you need that at check-in. That's what I told you I needed. Now, I'm not saying I can't date you because I could schedule the date. But if we are asking for my check-in and what I need to feel a little more fulfilled in this situation, me being told, plan the date that I'm saying I need to feel from you doesn't help me at all. It's making it seem like I'm doing exactly what I did over here of saying, take me out, date me. Now I'm having to plan it for us because I don't think you really want to do it when I really just want to feel the connection and want you to have that time with me and I want you to speak to me in my language. Now, if you said the same thing, I want to be dated, like that's my love language, then yes, let's divide it out. You got this month, I got this month.
I think it's just effort because if you, at the end of the day, you have to consciously, like people make it seem like, that's why when they say relationships are hard, you have to consciously do things sometimes. It's not gonna always come natural. Right. So like you said, I said, Damien, I need to write this down and remind myself to plan a date. You have to consciously do stuff sometimes. It's not natural to you to make stuff work sometimes. And I think that's when, I'm not gonna put forth the effort to plan the date that I asked you to plan, but I would like for you to consciously do what you need to do to put forth the effort to do what I'm asking.
And to that point, and I get you, like I promise you, Mark, I'm hearing you. But I will say, and I'm not trying to take over Jasmar's part, but I'm saying I share sentiment in that. But here is why for me, to ask me to plan that, I'm the planner for everything.
Right.
For you to plan a date for me, it gives me a load off. I plan the kids' parties. I plan the stuff for the family. I'm planning the extra things going on. Like, give me a minute. Aside
Something to add.
aside from my birthday and our anniversary.
I'm playing it all.
Hey.
So, but and he's right. If I give him a chance, we will have a party with me, him, Zaire, and Sam,
That's it.
Still a part.
But he's still playing.
and we will be watching a movie that he has.
That's part of the time, right?
Well, wait on it.
Oh, it's supposed to happen in life. They supposed to be a real occurrence right now, huh?
And we will be ordering Papa John's pizza.
I like Papa John.
Thank you.
The best
But I'm
pizza.
just saying, I'm just using that as an example. So for me, that effort is just to say, I see you, I hear you, got it.
Go ahead, Keith.
I hear that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
My thing is, I see this man put in so much effort on the grass, everything around the house to make sure it's pristine. But that same effort that you put into all of that stuff, if you was directing that to us in our relationship, can you imagine what it would be like? And I felt that you felt that our relationship was as important as all that other stuff you're doing around the house.
What's that saying? The grass is green.
But sometimes, yeah, and that's right. And that is in relationships and doing for my mate is probably one of my weaknesses. And I have to work on that more. But I think it's sometimes like, some people may need that jump. You know, like if your car, I'm serious, because it's not a thing that was taught to me.
I understand that, but you gotta get away from that though.
I know that.
You
but
always
I need
think
the
that.
help. If you can say, well, let me.
This goes back to her, like she's saying, she planning doing all.
Right, but if you can jumpstart it a little bit, because sometimes men have a tendency to think about other things more. Not saying this, but it's wrong for what I'm doing, but it's just not my strong pet peeve, and I know it should be. But
okay, so if I'm giving you grace for what's not your strong pet peeve, where's my grace for what's not my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
Yes, it does. And if I could get the little jump from you to remind them, then I'm like, well, that's important to her. Just like the other things I hear are important to me. So let me start doing this here. Because with me, consistent. If I'm doing it on a consistent level, or try to do it more, it becomes natural. But if I don't do it every once in a while, it kind of goes away.
But how do you make that a habit of doing it?
If you would jumpstart me to let me know.
But am I gonna always be in that mind frame to jumpstart you?
No, just give me one time and say, hey, that was nice. Hey, let's do this again sometime. I said, okay, that's important to her. I need to do it more.
I know.
Because we're not
it goes
wired.
both ways.
Yeah. We're always not wired a certain way. And with me coming up in my life, I just never saw it from my father, my other uncles and things. So I didn't think it was important that much. But the other things I saw, that's all you heard.
That's what I was.
But how long do you use that though?
But because I'm not, because I don't, if I'm not being told to do it a lot.
Well, you shouldn't. You're not told to get out there and water that grass and cut that
But
grass.
what he's saying
But
is
you don't
it's
know
a
that
learned
could be something
behavior.
that brings him
Yeah.
peace.
And that's. But think about this. Like
It's true, but it's also like he's saying though. So we're in about breaking generational curses, right?
Right.
You got to think when men were growing up back in the day, they were only taught two things: provide and protect.
Right.
So provide, I gotta go to work.
And that's all I saw.
When I grew up looking at my grandpas, all they did was work and chill at home.
Yep.
Work and chill at home. Give a check to the wife, let her do what she gotta do. I've looked at my grandpas go to work. I looked at my daddy hustle. So all I know is go work and chill at home. If we gonna do something, plan it. Now I know that my wife likes to be out. I take the time out sometimes to be like, hey, I gotta check myself and get out of that hustling mode to provide and protect. That I gotta go and make her happy now. Spend that quality time. Yeah. So we talk about breaking generational curses. That's a curse put on men.
Period.
That's point blank. Period. And then you hear the women out, and all they say is, "Oh, well, you're supposed to provide and protect me," and then you be like, "Oh, well, let me go to work. That's all I know how to provide. I gotta go work."
But then too, you get beat up so much by the world. The last thing you want to do is come on with that. So yes, there is a conversation to be had. But that is a two-way thing. Think about this. If a man came to you and said, man, I want you to do this, I want you to turn this way, and I want you to do this to me every night, and you be like, why would I do that? Well, that's what he asked. But are you going to do it right? I'm just, no, none of that. We ain't bringing in no shit. We do not condone. But what I'm saying is you can't say, I saw my mom and daddy do it. What if he didn't have a mom and dad?
Exactly.
What you can't say, I saw him to do it across the street. I saw them do it, because we don't know if they were dating or not. We know that we saw them go to church. We saw them go to the grocery store, maybe.
Yeah.
Most of the time when somebody would pick Big Mama up for church, because why? He was at work. So you can't say, it also goes back to see where you were raised, how you were taught. If you saw a healthy relationship, then yes. Now, am I saying that's an excuse? No, because you learn. But to Nikita's point earlier, if you do have kids, or you have a skills, or you have this, in your mind as a successor for a man is, okay, we have the house. She has the car, she got gas, you ain't got to worry about this, you ain't got to worry about this, you ain't got to worry about this. As a matter of fact, in the new age, a lot of men that I know are saying, shoot, let me help with the kids, let me do that. So you take all of this and throw that out the way and say, but you didn't date me though. So to a man, if that's trying, whether he missed that one date or he missed that, he like, well, dang, so I did all of this because you asked me, I've done it. You didn't acknowledge this, but you pissed on the fact that we went on 2 dates instead of 5.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but I also feel like women don't get acknowledgement for stuff that they do because they're expected to do it.
I try my best to do it.
But
I get what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, oh, no one pats her on the back for watching the children or, cooking the dinner, because it's expected of her. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, now I do feel the new age. A lot of men are involved. But when we come to I feel like it's kind of ridiculous. I don't have children, but I feel like it's ridiculous that it's like you see a man walking with a child to the grocery store and look, oh my goodness, look at him with his child. It's his child. Why are we so excited about this?
That's true.
Because you don't say, oh, look at the mother and her children in the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's not the same reaction. And it's like, why are we patting you on the back for something that you should be doing? So when you're saying, I'm paying all or half of the bills, okay, you're supposed to do that. I feel like that's what it,
According to.
But not according to society, but whatever your agreement is. Right. Okay. Whatever your agreement is with your partner.
Which in most cases is going to come from.
Yeah.
Or what you saw.
Yeah, yes. But I still feel like it still comes down to why are we, oh, you're not getting acknowledgement for all of this, but what acknowledgement is she getting? I just feel like, I don't know.
I don't think it's the acknowledgement piece. What I'm saying is, because in that case it would be tit for tat. What I'm saying is, if that one thing supersedes everything, because there is a cost at every level. Yeah. Right?
That's true.
There's a cost. Okay? Yeah. But if that one thing really going to succeed all this, if you've seen the effort, to your point, you saw the effort, but the effort wasn't what I would have it to be, because I would have took us to Mexico, but you took me to the movies. But that's the effort, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the effort was minimal. No, you don't know what I went through to make sure I had enough time to get to. You know what I'm saying? I did have to get up. Not that that's an excuse, but I'm saying on both sides, there is transactions that have to happen. Mm-hmm. Yes, and in this day's society, there are just as many men that are more active in the kids, and there are just as many men that's cooking. There's just as many women that's working because things have changed. You know what I mean? So if you have traditional habits, then yes, to Mark's point, generational curses have to be broken, right?
If my wife get that corporate job, I'm becoming
good.
Stay at home.
Yeah,
I told y'all.
But if the generational curse has to be broken, look how long it took for the curse to manifest. So it's gonna take a little more time for it to be broken. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's not meaning that you're not putting forth the effort. That just means things have to change. Yeah. And in order to change some things, you got to change some things.
I'll let Clint go first. Because Clint has a point on this, I think. But
it's kind of for me personally. But I think if we could talk more about it and choose some dates, because sometimes for me, I have to get in a routine of doing something.
Routine.
Yeah, but I want to get in the routine of trying to be better to make sure that I'm taking care of your needs. But because like you said, generational courage, you're so used to it, you're wired that way. Because I'm older than he is.
Yeah.
I've seen it so long. So
I'm
it's harder. So what I'm saying is, if you're doing something, if you're working together and trying to help each other, it'll help me out a lot. Because I can say, hey, I'm not working now, so I have the time. And we can pick days or whatever, or when you have time, but you got to work on it on both sides.
How long you been retired?
Since October the 28th, and
How long have you been retired from AISD?
But I still have to go.
No, but I'm asking you.
Since 21.
And you make sure you get up and you go to the gym every day, right? Not one time since you've been retired have you called me and say, babe, let me take you out to lunch.
Because that's true.
But he has a routine that he sticks to every single day.
Here's my point. Here's what I was going to, which makes sense to the whole thing.
Okay.
I get it. I've heard it. I see it. Now, I will say, I do think that I've been blessed in two ways, though. I have a bonus father. Even when my mom and dad were coming up, even though my parents got divorced my senior year, I did get to see my dad work, but my dad is affectionate too. Like my stepfather is affectionate too. So I see an equal capacity. My stepdad probably wants to go out more than my mom does. Like he's like, you want to go on a vacation? Robert's one of the first to be like, yeah, let's go. My dad was also one that was ready to go, like always. So I've seen it both ways, but I do see and I understand the traditional aspect of provide and protect. I see it. I saw it in my dad. I see it and I saw it. I still see it in my bonus dad. I see it in my husband. I saw it in his father. I see it in the dads that have surrounded me. I saw it in my Uncle Man. I see it. I see it in my brother. Like, I see it. Here's the thing, though. When we're talking routine and we're talking structure and we're talking what we've grown up and saw, how are we defining provide and protect? Because providing and protecting goes more than just on a physical aspect and financially what you can see and what you can pay for.
But that's what we're saying.
No, you didn't. You saw more than that. You saw your mom at home. You saw your mom going through it all.
I didn't see my
well, you might.
But I'm with you.
What I'm saying is, you saw the woman on the other side having to deal with a whole lot of extra stuff.
Yep.
You saw that. So you can choose if you sit back and you reflect. When we're talking about healthy relationships, I am not in any way or capacity minimizing any of the relationships I saw. But we saw some dysfunction.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, everybody does.
And we saw the dysfunction because of the weight on both sides, for the male and the female. So I'm saying we can maintain, even from a biblical standpoint, provide and protect is right. I agree with it. But providing and protecting for me, for our family, includes more than just financial capacities. It's my social, it's my emotional, it's my physical as well. Mm-hmm. And so if we look at it from that perspective, when you're providing for me, it's not just putting a roof over my head. When you're protecting me, it's protecting the shell that I live into. Like, it's not just protecting me from a person that's coming in to burglarize our home, right? It's saying that, hey, I have some social emotional needs that are being deprived. And that needs to be protected too, because the longer those are deprived, the further away from you I become. And then what comes next is when we're separated that way, and we have everything in our life that's tearing us in these different directions, what becomes the greatest issue next to communication and relationship issues becomes sex. Now you can't even speak to me about sex because I'm so disconnected. Mm-hmm. You're so disconnected because you're working so hard trying to provide and protect. And what you understand providing and protecting to be, so you're disconnected, I'm disconnected. Now our physical is disconnected too. Mm-hmm. So maybe if we took the provide and protect outside of the realm of just seeing it as putting a roof over our head and protecting people from coming in and breaking in the house or making sure we got guns locked up and labeled, then maybe we'll see, if we think back to big mamas and what they did and what they went through and how much extra they had to do and the acknowledgments they didn't get, then we can break that generational curse of, okay, there's some more of providing and protecting that I have a responsibility to. And it shouldn't be always where we got to remind you of that. you see that as this is my responsibility too. We got a responsibility too. Don't think I'm minimizing our part.
Now, how many generations did you just break by communicating that? Because Big Mama didn't communicate that.
Nope.
Mama didn't communicate that.
They did.
Big
No.
Mama,
No, they went in the room.
They didn't do it directly.
They
didn't
prayed.
say
They
like
took
we
it to
showed.
God.
You're right.
How many generations did it take for that to be said?
That's learning.
Now,
yeah.
now
That
we
comes
even
from
say
learning.
To this day is that kids pick up more on
Yes.
eyesight, what they see in
That
the
is true.
household than
They do.
you know. So how many generations
You're
did you just break by saying that? Now we know that provide and protect goes outside the realm that we normally seen as kids.
But that's what we were saying,
Hey,
Mark.
if y'all
about
hold
that.
on. If y'all online and y'all can, sorry, we normally bring y'all in. Please comment and of your upbringing and how this has affected. Because again, this comes back to communication. Some of this stuff, if it's communicated properly, then yes, we can break some generational curses.
Exactly.
Now I do understand that there are some parents who, some men even who raise their children without the woman, and vice versa. The woman raised their kids without the man in the household, or no support in that regard. Because that was something a lot of men and a lot of kids in general had to grow up too soon.
Yeah.
So with that being said, as a foundation, can y'all please put in, if there is something that has helped you, please put it in the comments. Let us know so we can bring it back to the next episode. Hopefully it can help somebody else. But I mean, this is good to me because communication is where we started. And without the communication, we won't have any resolution.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, let's go back.
Okay, Jess.
So that goes back to saying, oh, well, I didn't learn this. I didn't see this growing up. But you learned some things on what not to do and how to do it better. This didn't work for my family because I saw it. Mm-hmm. So what can I do to make it better? So I don't like the fact that people say, well, I didn't see this growing up. I didn't
You're
learn
talking
that.
about evolving.
Yes,
Evolving,
you know what not to do. You seen, for instance, let's just say if your dad wasn't in your life or whatever, you know what not to do. I'm going to do this because I didn't have that growing up.
Ooh, Jasmine. So hold on real quick because I brought that up. I had a discussion that I had. I said, if you didn't have a father in your life, not, we were talking to a group of friends. I said, wouldn't you want to do better?
Right.
And this is what he told me. He goes, this is better. This is my version of better. I don't know what it looks like.
What is? Yeah, everybody has a different version of better.
You are looking at your father and what you think it looks like. I'm doing what I think it looks like because I don't know what it looks like. So that kind of changed my perspective. I was like, oh well, dang. I feel kind of bad because I was like, oh well, he said that is what it looks like. You're the image that you have looking at is your father or your uncle, but for him, he's looking at this is me doing better.
The best
And
I
so I was
can
like,
what I got.
But he doesn't have anybody else to say, oh.
You talking about look at someone else?
Yes. Like you still have father figures or whatever that you knew. Be like, oh, well, I can take this from him. Like that looks great. I can.
And what if he was worse?
But even if you get older and then you they say like you surround yourself like that, played like a father figure or somebody that you grew up with.
That didn't mean he was better though.
That's my point. If you're in a community of people and they're all whores.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. Most likely, you're going to be a whore.
Yeah.
If you around 10 millionaires, then somewhere along the way, you going to fall into, oh dang, they saved, they invested, they done X, Y, Z. Otherwise, you got somebody else that's saying, I can't wait till Friday.
I get it.
Yep.
I get it.
So
Surround yourself with.
that's what you have. So yes, you can change, which is my next point. I'm glad y'all said that because we can segue into it. Because we had somebody brought up that says the microwave growth versus what was it? Microwave versus crock pot growth,
slow cooking, yeah,
development over time. Mm-hmm. As we change, as we evolve. To your point earlier, yes. Every 3 months, 4 months, 5, you've gotten better in this department. Your needs may have changed, this, that, and the other. Is it, back to communication, is it because as your spouse, I should know you? Or should you be saying, okay, hey, at that season in my life, I like X, Y, Z. At this point in my life, I like X, Y, Z. So is it important, and this is for all of us, that we communicate that, or should we, to Clint's point, assume that they know?
No, that's where communication
yeah, of
come in
course
to
you
check
can.
I don't think
in.
assuming definitely helps nothing because you can be
Yeah.
assuming something totally different.
But you do have to
Now,
remember.
now keep in mind, microwave,
Yeah.
crock pot. Now let's go.
I mean, give it. You're gonna have to give it some time because, mind you, they're just learning this. So I do feel like you do have to give it a little bit of time, depending on the the detriment of what it is.
Right.
But if you're just talking about changes, because everybody changes,
Right.
I do think you do have to give them time to adjust because, just like when you're dating someone new. Oh, do I remember her favorite color? Could you tell me one more time? I feel like you do have to give it time to adjust to whatever it is. Now, what's a reasonable amount of time?
Depends
I don't
on
know.
the person.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Everybody together.
yeah,
I'm a crock pot.
yeah.
I'm a crock pot.
But that's why also I heard, I don't want to take it backwards, but that's why when he said, I need you, like, let's set up reminders, I heard that differently than you're not doing it. What I heard was, I'm a type of person that sets routine. If you help me, we can start setting a routine, put it on a calendar, then we can start doing this, right? No, I don't want her to make all the effort, but he's trying to say, this is how I can do it, but like, let me make it, put a calendar, whatever, and this, I can make it my routine. So I feel like that goes into, is this a compromise that we could do? Or is it going to turn into, does it sound selfish to say, I don't want to help you do this at all, or is it a compromise? Him saying, look, I'm wired this way. If you give me a calendar, I can write it down. Like, is it selfish to say, well, why I got to give you a calendar?
But if it's important to you and you care about it and it's a need for you and you love your mate and this what's going to help.
Yeah, and I feel it's
you do
reasonable.
that.
I feel it's reasonable to say, okay, well,
Right.
sure, he wants a calendar. Here's a
Right.
calendar.
But-
It's all on you.
Yes.
And then if you get the calendar and you don't do it, then
But but that's why I'm asking. Do you feel that you said earlier? Why do I even have to?
Right.
Then I'm planning it myself. Do you feel like that's not a compromise? That
No,
could work?
I think it's two different things. But I do feel like I think to his point of what he was saying and what I was saying is a little different.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm similar but different. I don't think I get what he's saying. He's saying like he mentioned like
This how I'm
help
structured.
me.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to, and you even have a military background. So there is something that's militant about you needing to have this piece in this structure, right?
Thank you for your service. Go ahead.
And, yeah, thank you for that. And so to say like doing too much would be like, let me find me the calendar, pick my phone up, program it in my calendar, and then remind me that it's there. Like that's way too much. But to say, yeah,
Wait.
I just did get the calendar, and now you're talking about is it too much?
It's for me. I'm trying to do it for me, but I'm not telling her to do it. I'm putting it for me.
No.
Yeah, for you to do it. Yeah, I thought you meant.
No, I'm saying if she has to do it all.
No.
If you're doing it, if you're saying, "Hey, can we, like, babe, let's have a little candlelight right now. Let's get some wine. Let's go on our nice patio ambiance that we have. I want you to come outside with me, and I'm gonna take out my phone, and I want you to take out your phone, and let's look at our calendars.
That's
and
what
I
he's
need
saying.
you
Now.
to help me with some dates right now. I'm taking out my phone.
Yeah.
I am literally going to let's agree to what we say right now at this time.
Yes.
At very minimum. If I do something spontaneous outside of this, on me.
Right.
But at very minimum,
like
what
that.
would you be satisfied with?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if she says once a month, at least something, it doesn't even have to be away from the house.
Right.
Okay, let's look at the calendar and let's on our calendar right now. Each month, let's find a weekend, and I'm marking my calendar. This is me and Keeper's weekend. Then,
And if she good with it, I'm good with it,
then that's all she needed
That's
to
what
do.
I'm trying to do. But
That's
you worded
fine.
it a lot more nicer.
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying if
That's where communication come in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's how you get it. Time to adjust.
if she had to get your phone and then say, okay, Clint, come on, let's sit outside.
No, that's not
Let me
good.
And can you please
That's no
put
effort.
this and let me get your phone and program these
Yes.
days. And then she also has to remind you, remember, Clint, we got a weekend coming up.
Yeah.
Like, that's too much.
No, that's too much.
Now,
But she's doing
granted,
everything.
naturally, you're still going to overview your week, so it's okay to be like, oh, we got a weekend coming up this weekend. Because you might need a reminder.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think
But
that's
even
too
with
much.
that, so back to that, there is man, this is good. Golly. So
Alexa, play Crown Kings podcast.
Playing Crowned Kings podcast from Amazon Music. Here's season 1.
Man, it's too much. I was trying to let her finish talking. There's too much. It's so much. So to that point, right? So if that is your need, right? And you say date me is vague, right?
Yeah.
Do you need it every Saturday night? Do you need
that's
every
the
2
question.
weeks?
But that
Do you
is
need
an individual
once a month?
question for every couple.
Do you
Right.
need
That is
every
different.
45 days?
Ask your spouse
That
that.
your
This-
spouse,
that's my-
you and your
so there you
partner
have it.
need to establish what that is.
Because they
There
made
you
you
go.
say effort.
And me and
Right.
you,
Look at your movies.
me and you would know.
Right.
Like,
Right.
even as Crowned Alliance, if people don't know what we go through in our chats.
Yeah. Tell
there
them
are
about
times
Crown Alliance
we
when
are
you get through.
Crowned
Yeah.
Alliance, by the way.
Yeah.
Where
You
the
should've
Crown
followed the
Kings
team,
come
baby.
from. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking back here. Anyway, okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
But we have chats sometimes in the same way it should naturally be happening in our relationships where we're like, we already know this month is too crazy. Like, we already know
Right.
we can't plan it because we know already this is going to be crazy crunch.
Communication.
So whether we already know that we're going to have to do some more on this end or less on this end, like
Your
you get
calendar.
to naturally have that conversation with your spouse. But I don't know how much time we have, and this is probably why y'all should have us on here more. But anyway,
we always can come back
I
in.
do want to say there is this one piece.
Date
I
night,
think
Crowned Alliance, put it on
everything
here.
that we are talking about is beautiful, but I want to be real 100% transparent because I believe in everything that everybody said. I think it speaks to our heart and our truth. But one piece that I think could be a whole show by itself is the types of communication and toxic communication. Because we continue to talk about how we just need to communicate. We just need to communicate. And communication doesn't come that easy.
Correct.
And communication also happens in multiple ways. Back to when we were talking about what the older people didn't say that we saw. They were communicating. They didn't have to come out and say it like we're saying it now.
The roots.
But it was
Right.
communication.
Yes.
On top of that, it's not easy for me to feel vulnerable enough sometimes in a space to tell you what I need if when I tried to tell you before, it turned into a big blow up.
Correct.
And so for you to say now that you get it because I had to blow up and say maybe I want a divorce based on me trying to convey these things and it not landing on good soil. And now that I've blown up, now you want to have a conversation? Now I'm a little suppressed. And so it's not as easy for me to come back to the table and give you all the grace that wasn't extended to me when I was crying to say, ooh, like, I need you to see me. I need you to hear me. I need you to feel this. And so I'm saying there's a part of toxic communication that we have to have a conversation about. And we have to be able to have communication on safe grounds. And we all have been in a place. Because toxic doesn't always look like someone cussing somebody out. Toxic communication is stonewalling.
Yeah.
Toxic communication is silent treatment.
Shutting down. Yep.
100%.
Yep.
If I'm telling you and pouring out my heart to you about how I feel and you don't say anything and your back is turned, that's toxic.
Or you don't pull.
Or you don't. If you cussing me out when I'm telling you, or if I say something that's super sensitive, but I needed to say it to you because it was really tough and on my heart, and then you immediately hit me back with what I did. Well, I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah.
Like it's already broke something else.
Microwave versus.
Right. So I'm saying it's communication is key, but
That's
we
it.
need to even learn how to communicate. Like we
Man, I love
struggle in the relationship pieces of understanding how it needs to land. So
yeah, that'll be a show
it
by
just,
itself.
we have to, and part of it, and I'm going to throw it out, I say before you have conversations about your needs, I'm not saying that sex completely heals everything and that it should be an excuse, but I do think before you have serious conversations, you should have sex first.
Yeah, you Bible dog. I like it though.
No,
I like it.
I don't think so.
I think so.
You know why? Tell them why. What does it do?
Because it softens
Oxytocin.
endorphins.
What it do?
Your hormone
Yeah,
levels
glory.
lower.
It will do it.
Yeah, but
I'm talking from a medical. I'm not just talking from a hey. hey, it feels good point. I'm honestly talking from a space of you are in a better place to hear and receive information than being at the top of your emotions.
Communication.
And unable to hear and your communication.
It is
I don't know. I don't agree with that because if we talk, depending on what we talk about, I might want to take what I just gave you back. I ain't got time for that.
Well, you can't take it back now.
You can't take it
I don't know what we talking about.
That's an emotion.
No, really though.
It is emotional.
Just depending on how intense the conversation is. If the intense conversation is, I'm not going to want to have sex with you either.
Exactly.
But, agreed. But if you know that something has been bothering you, right?
Oh man, that's funny.
You don't have. It doesn't have to come. You don't have to come home with the. I'm like soften it first.
We're gonna have to eat or something.
Well, maybe you have to eat
That's
something.
when date night come in. Let's plan a date first.
There you go.
Yes, and I do think date night is a great. Like some of our best and hardest conversations have happened at date night. Or after sex.
But when you said microwave and slow cooker, that actually made me think. A lot of times we do think stuff is gonna be microwave change, but really it's slow cooker.
Yeah.
It's most of the time slow cooker.
And that's
all
on
the
both
time.
sides.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You know,
But you
you're
gotta,
human.
but you
You
have to
can't
really
change
want to do
overnight.
it too. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm
It
doing.
has to cook.
Yes, and what I'm saying is, if you know you hadn't been doing it, and now you know, and if it's and it's very important to your mate,
Right.
then you should put that effort to it. Like you're doing
100%,
effort to other things. You know, it may take some people it may take a lot longer. Like me, I'm older. It's taking me a lot longer to understand it, and when you understand it more and how important it is to your mate, then you'll try more. And that's what my intention is to try to do it more.
What's a reset for us? Like, what do you say? Because Keeper asked a question earlier. She said, "What do you do if I've given grace? Like, how does it work in the reverse?" So, what's a safe way to be like, and if you're telling your partner to be patient with you in something, but they're not showing the same?
Reciprocation.
Yeah. What is a safe way to say it? And
Well, most of the time you don't say it nicely when you
Exactly.
you know.
And I think approach is everything.
Yeah.
Like I do get and understand, obviously if you, for instance, if you said it multiple times, that's understandable that if it's something that you have to bring back up again, it's going to come out a lot more rougher.
Yeah.
Than
I'm
you would,
direct, so
than,
all of
than
my
you would
stuff
like.
come out
However,
crazy.
I do feel like even in that, the approach is everything. Because if you're on 10 and I'm getting 10, my natural
Is the respond.
is fight or flight.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So
okay,
you get
got
on the
10,
defense.
so I'm gonna give you 12.
think
And now it's an
everybody-
argument over
yeah.
something that's
Normal.
something
Yeah.
just as simple. So I think it's more just,
It's not that simple if I gotta say it 12 times.
Right.
But we've
I agree,
also,
but
we've also
the
talked
approach
about
is still everything though. The
I
approach
guess.
is still everything.
I guess, but I just feel like so many times you're not gonna get the same temperament every single
That's what
time.
I'm saying. So when if you're the one that's giving it 12 times and the person receiving it is getting that level 10 the 12th time, where is the? I guess I'm just saying, where do you?
But like you said, if you're giving it 10 all the time,
No, I'm saying.
No, not all the time,
I'm
but it's
saying that this.
What's the reset?
Yeah.
I think that depends on a couple. Like you're gonna have to, you know how to communicate with that. Well, you may know how to
Maybe not.
communicate,
Well,
but
You know them
I think that
well,
depends
but
on
I
that
think
person.
I think what happens to Dodie point if the approach is because it don't matter how you say it. I know we've been back and forth. If you come to me, and in my mind, I'm giving you 120%. As a sacrifice, and I believe both parties feel that I'm giving you everything I got. But that one particular incident, you catch me off guard. When I'm thinking I'm at 120, and you be like, basically, shoot, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? So that's a hard good punch.
It's
So
how you bring it to the table.
Yeah.
Like if you, I'm like as to taking it from Trev. I'm in my mind. I'm at 120, and you come in and you be like, nah, you actually, but you bring it at a level 10 because you've been saying it so much. Then all right, now that I know my 120 is at like 30, well here we go with some more stuff that I feel like you ain't doing.
Yeah, that's
and that's
So
that's
yeah,
usually-
it's
yeah.
I think
But at that point, you asked the question to her. What is
no.
it that I'm
He didn't ask no question.
No,
she
listen.
came in with a concern.
Yeah.
No,
He didn't ask no question.
But Acknowledge her concern.
Take accountability.
If that was the case, you should have came with your concern then, not bring it up then. Acknowledge hers. Let's take that first.
Take accountability.
Okay.
And
But how do you know when you come in that what you about to be accountable? I just got work. I ain't coming in no count. I come in to get a shower, something to eat, and lay my behind down.
But do y'all hear though the background of what we're saying? But I'm saying we're telling the person on this side, make all the concessions for this side.
Yes.
Understand our background. Understand what we saw growing up. Understand this. Understand. And whenever it comes to here, it's like.
But how you bring it to the table, baby? I know you trying your hardest.
But again, the concession is all happening.
I'm not coddling you after I've told you 20 times that something needs. I just want
okay.
the mutual concessions happen.
So
that
check
was
this.
My question.
Yes, but check this out.
It has to be some mutual concessions.
Because that can go either way, right? Because the man could come in and say, "I told you 10 times too."
Yeah. Correct.
Or if you're in,
take the same way.
You know what I'm saying? Correct. But if I come to you with that energy, are you gonna receive it the same way?
And be honest.
Exactly.
There we go. There we go.
Oh yeah, it happens.
Now we could.
No, it happens.
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah, it happens.
Tell me something you done told me.
We're not gonna start right now.
I'm ready.
We are in the
Tell me
live.
something you told me 10 times.
We will.
But now we could.
So there you go.
We gonna lower them.
So now ask that same question. Where is the concession?
Yeah.
Because if I come at you as a man, now remember the protector, the provider, and all that. If I come at you as the protector, the provider, and all, and I say, "Look, God dog it, I done told you this 10 times." Your mind's thinking, first of all, who the hell you think you talking to? You know, I was with the kids last night, and I was with work, and I just, you know what I'm saying?
Now we both at that.
Communication is back there.
And in your mind,
especially what Trey was saying, you thought you was at 100 being. Yeah. And then he come in and knock you down. Where you think you gonna be at?
So it just needs to be an agreement in all relationships at some point to listen, to hear, not listen to respond.
Yeah.
There should be a reset. There should be a spot at some place where everybody has an opportunity to exchange thoughts and conversation. Question. But it should not be like if I'm coming and I'm bringing something to you, sharing. It just needs to be that. It doesn't need to be. And sometimes I get what you're saying, Trev, about you just got off and it's you got a whole bunch of and you went through a lot. But sometimes my emotions, whatever I went through, I've been waiting all day to put this on the person I feel like is my person, and it can't wait for you to get anywhere but me on the door.
But emotional as a concern for a need in the world versus an attack to that person is two different things, right?
But to say to me, if that were the case, baby, I know you need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's take 10 minutes, 15 minutes when we get home. I'm going to take my shower first. I'm going to get you.
Just say, give me 5 minutes.
So back to what you're saying we need to work on is the delivery.
Yes.
But men work on the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
So can you just, I want to hear you. I want to make sure I'm fully there and listening and present. But I done had a day too.
Yeah.
So
let's take
10 minutes.
But you have to be, so to your point, I love it. To your point, you have to be healthy enough. You have to been in the crock pot enough to say, okay, I'm because I think every day we all come home with something. It ain't no you going out there grinding and hustling, you ain't gonna feel something. And you're right, I should be able to come to my person. That's different. Me coming to you expressing that I had a jacked up day at work. The world attacked me.
Yeah.
But if you attack me,
the world and you,
that's different.
I hear it. That's real.
That's a whole nother thing. Now you saying I need to pour my heart out to you because these students that got on my last nerve, you know, and I went over. I was stuck in traffic and I had a flat tire and you couldn't get to me. However, you know, thank God for AAA. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you, Dodie is a listening ear, but I like to write sometimes. He does not read.
Well, he ain't gonna read.
Well, listen, Dodie's defense, they do read paragraphs.
I know how to read.
They do paragraphs.
Nikita, you do write novels. Nikita, you write novels.
Listen,
you write stories. So I can't. He got to
forget a story. She write novels.
Let me have a transparent, vulnerable moment my core.
Oh wow.
Uh-oh.
You gonna do that right here though?
Oh, and see how she's shaking her head? That's how they do it, right?
I agree. Maybe when you look at it, it seems long.
It ain't long. It's long. It's long. It got pages.
But
It's
listen,
pages.
I don't see nobody else's name but your blue bubble.
Listen,
I skipped it. I'm not reading all that.
at least you skilled, Jasmine.
Hey,
Johnny doesn't even read it.
That's not it. Summarize.
I go with whatever somebody else say. All right, you good.
See, y'all see my people. It's your people that do it. But I honestly,
I love it.
genuinely promise you, even though I talk a lot, I don't like to talk as much as I talk, and I write more than I talk. And sometimes when I'm in the moments where I have to share my world with everybody else, my retreat is writing. And to the people that get the most are the people I care about the most. And so for people that get that much from me, unless it's like a student that I'm writing a reflection or something. But I'm saying, I literally am writing. Sometimes I'm writing because that's my, like, writing is my therapy. So when I don't have anything else to, like, do, and I'm going through whatever it is, and I'm just trying to sort through my day, and I have my routines, the only thing I have outside of whatever else is on my plate is to write it out, because that for me is keeping my checklist. And if I can go back and read it, I can make sure I included everything, because what I do all dang day for my profession is repeat myself and talk. And I get tired of having to say over and over again the exact same thing. So to my folks, if I put it down and I make sure it's exclusive and I make sure you have all the details, then I don't have to do what I do all day, 8 to 6. But when I'm asked to do it at home, and I spent so much time and energy writing it down to make sure I made it foolproof and didn't leave room for questions, and you didn't even read it, how much that took from me and not realizing that I used my extra energy to make sure I communicated something real to you, because I've been talking all day. I don't have the time.
You just want to shut
the
down.
capacity. I just want y'all to get it. I don't want to leave any questions or concerns. Boom.
Yeah. Well,
But guess what I get all the time? What, when, where.
Actually, that's a good summary that he may need. What, when, where.
Is that 2025?
That's communication.
That's communication.
Yeah, yeah.
So you might need to summarize
Just put in there what we're
what it
doing,
is.
what we're doing it, and where.
That's
and
it.
read them bullet points.
Yeah.
Them little bullet points.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna need you to do better.
Nikita, I want
You're right. You're right.
That's a little
On
short.
camera. I'm gonna do better.
That's dope.
What?
I'll read. I'll read.
Who's worse than me in the house now with writing?
Worse than you? Nobody.
Sam.
I don't have to read it.
He don't read his either.
You're not making it look good. You're not making it look good.
Oh, wait.
Because he knows you don't read.
That's not accurate.
He write his godparents. Did he write y'all?
He right.
But Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work.
Don't change the compliment.
No, the response is what? Prime time.
Everything.
He got a
High five him.
Yeah. Man, somebody just died. Prime time.
What?
That's not accurate.
Hey, listen, y'all. This has been great. We can talk about this again.
For sure, man.
If you are watching us right now, if you logged in, we leave for you to like, share, subscribe, not only to the Crown Kings podcast, but also to the Crown Alliance. 2025 will be a special year for all of us. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And remember, this is a continued conversation, communication. As you can see, there's a lot of layers
Keep it talking.
to see what I'm saying, to communicate. But again, I reiterate myself. I'm repeating like Nikita. Like, share, subscribe.
What when we're live.
Yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe. Any final words from our guests? We want to say thank you to our queens for showing up on today.
So we finally was able to bust that podcast cherry.
You did what I'm saying?
Like that.
Wow.
Whoa, now you taking it too far.
Hey, whatever get us in that
So y'all
jet.
might want to have us on regular.
I mean, we got control.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be a date night after once.
Yeah. We can do it. Put it on the calendar.
Meet up every few
Oh,
months.
y'all would do one.
Yeah, put that on the calendar though. Put it on the calendar. Make it plain.
Why do you always think that? Never mind, let's go get into something.
Yeah. So what?
Trying to cut it short, you know.
Yeah. So any final words? We'll start this way. We started this way early. Miss Pierce.
I say Crown Kings, keep doing what you're doing, but do make more space for guests.
It's about that
So
time.
y'all, we
Yeah.
starting off with a
Or
bang.
just mean like I think it's cool to hear other perspectives.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
think you'll have a great conversation.
Yeah, I
And
love it.
more people should tune in, like, subscribe,
Follow.
follow,
I like it.
Please.
comment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start being more of a.
We gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
I'm not knowing that.
Yeah. Put it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar.
Keep a great man phone, put it on the
No,
Hey,
that's asking too much of her.
in 2025, Clint gonna be good about the calendar. He gonna be on.
He's gonna create his own calendar.
Yeah, and GPS too. He gonna be ready. Yeah, he'll be ready. Miss Taylor,
Yeah.
what you got?
Oh, I have nothing else to say. You guys keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you will get more views because of us.
Oh, bless the Lord.
You know.
Hey,
Well, we don't
No.
They fresh on this.
yes.
Just jumping out the pot.
Mighty God, mighty God.
It's called a slow cooker.
Yeah. But no, yeah. I think it's great what y'all doing. Keep sharing, different perspectives.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Miss Dale.
What's that Neo song? I'm a force when. What's that song? Y'all know that song?
Yes.
Hey, that's actually good. That might be the next episode. Force together. Watch out. I love it. Miss Warfield.
Well, first of all, let me just give y'all flowers now. I appreciate what y'all are doing. I think it's a great thing as men coming together and speaking about your truths and adding us to the show. And my only thing, I think I said it once before, don't just go through it, grow through it, because this can help.
That's great.
Mighty God. That's my wife. Just for the record, we're going on a date this weekend, I'm gonna put it on the calendar.
Oh,
Okay.
happy anniversary!
And my anniversary coming up. Yeah. She might get 2 dates.
I tell you what,
Mr. Dale, final thoughts. Talk about it.
Oh, I thought I did.
No, you good. You got to right now. Come on.
Any last words you guys say to people?
It was great. I mean, I was able to, talk about things that I'm not doing and trying to work on, and it starts today.
That's
So,
Put it down.
Yeah. Record live. 9 to 5.
21st.
You said that. No worry, you know Keeper got the date. Don't you worry about it.
Y'all heard him. No weapon. No weapon. Come on, Taylor
We
May.
got 5 days, before this comes back
Don't you know you had 30 minutes?
Come on, Taylor May.
Oh, no. This was great. Again, like, who said it? I can't remember.
We all did.
Different perspectives. One of y'all said it. But it was great having a different perspective on here, not just hearing, our side of things, but
Of course.
then again, the side that keeps everything glued together, Hey, I'm gonna give y'all flowers too.
Yes.
Women do a lot.
Yes.
Women do a lot. I would be,
Dead.
Prime time. I told y'all.
What was they say? I'd be broke down and disgusted if it wasn't for my wife, But thank y'all again, ladies, for coming in.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Amen.
George boy.
Well,
What's his name?
That boy Doty?
Yeah.
all day, every day. At this moment,
Twice on
again,
Sunday.
we want to thank everyone for tuning in. Of course, we definitely want to thank our lovely guests, the women of Crowned Alliance,
Yes.
for tuning in today or checking in with us for some conversation. Y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as we've all said, and we will see y'all out there.
Hey, wait a minute. You need to let them know about the Crown Alliance 2025. Let them know.
We haven't come up with the banner yet, but let them know
why
that we still acting. No.
Where?
They need to know.
Still tell them to like,
Yeah,
share,
they need to know.
follow.
What you got? They need to know.
You can put the link in the
It's
thing.
always there.
Yeah,
They need to
the
know.
link will be underneath the
Hey, listen.
Hey, ladies, why don't we put our hands up like this so that he can put it on top of our hands? Everybody?
Yeah.
Hands.
Y'all see the bells and the whistles?
Down in the
And we
Oh,
want
like
it down
Yeah.
there too?
If y'all don't know,
I don't want to look back.
if y'all don't know, ask your kids, okay?
Yeah,
They know what a bell is and all that. Y'all done already paid the cell phone. Well, y'all paid the bill, I think.
There's a payment arrangement. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Oh my God. Hey, put that on the
That's part
counter.
of life.
It's all right.
We don't care how you do it, just do
Right.
it, okay?
never mind what he said.
Do it.
We appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
You know.
You ain't got to do it on your phone. You do it on Alexa. Alexa send you right to it. Just say Alexa.
Yeah, you gonna-
5 Crown King podcast.
What,
Guaranteed.
what that person y'all
I
use?
guarantee.
Siri.
Serious.
Yeah.
Serious.
Serious.
We're not even gonna start. Y'all have a nice little
Hey.
nice day,
Hey.
night, whatever you
We
want.
hope y'all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes.
And let's get it, 2025. Remember, communicate, all right? As my sister said, there are layers to it. Don't be offended, fellas. Females, same way. Women, don't y'all be offended. It's all about getting better. What'd you say, baby?
Don't go through it, grow through it.
Got to grow through it. All right? May God bless you. May God keep you. Get your calendars. God bless you. Peace.
Amen, calendar.
Y'all here. Love you, mama.
My kings gotta stand tall and strong.
Unleash your power today and let your voices belong.
Together we'll break the chain.
The chains that try to confine.
I am my brother's keeper.
And it's our time to shine.
Calling all kings to the flow. I'm about my business, you know. Keep it 100 is my faith in God that keeps me on the go. About my money, my love, what it needs to grow. I'm calling all kings to the flow.